All right, friends, hello and welcome back. It's Doc back with another reaction video. Um, this time, what I want to do is continue a little bit with apparently something that you all really enjoy watching and something that I really enjoy learning is we're learning about and reacting to cricket. So today, what I'm going to do is go over cricket fielding. If you're familiar with, if you watched some of my other reactions in the past. I have done a couple of them. This actually will be my third as I continue to react and learn about this game. And I'm loving what I'm learning so far. I'm loving your engagement and your comments. So the first one reaction that I did to cricket, you can see here was Psychologist reaction. How do you play cricket? So that was the first one. Here you can see is the title of that. I'll put a link for that in the description as well. So if you want to kind of continue in this reaction series about cricket, make sure that you check that out. Again, a link will be in the description for you. And then more recently, the second one that I did was what are the rules of cricket? Because the first one didn't really go over a whole lot of rules. This second one right here, Psychologist Reacts, what are the rules of cricket? Did a lot better job of explaining some of the rules and more of the formal teams and gameplay and things like that. But there's still a lot that I want to learn. As far as how are runs scored, how do the innings go, the overs and the outs and all those kinds of things. And those videos, while a very good kind of overview of the game, still didn't answer all of my questions. So again, here is the title of that second one. I will also put a link down in the description for this reaction as well. But while you are here, and if you want to continue to get notifications and information about all of my reactions, including the ones for cricket, make sure that you give this a like. Also, while you are here, go ahead and subscribe and then click the notification bell as well so that you can get notices when I do new ones. But I'm really excited to do this one today. Where I eventually want to do is get to learning and understanding the game better and then react to some actual games. And I would love it if y'all could give me some feedback on how I can watch some of these games in the United States, how I can find a favorite team. We don't play cricket. We certainly don't have any professional cricket leagues or teams. I don't believe here in the United States. I've never heard of it, even recreationally. It's just not a game really that's played widely. So if you can give me ideas on how I can watch some games, how I can pick a favorite team, how the tournaments go, when the tournaments are played, are there international leagues, or are they just more national teams and leagues and things like that? I would love to hear your comments. Maybe hopefully sometime along the line find myself a favorite team that I can follow. It would likely have to be one that I have access of watching, even if they're recorded games and things like that. But many of you have given me suggestions on other videos to watch. I really appreciate it. If you do have suggestions on learning this game, certainly leave your comments, leave some links down below, and share them with the rest of us here in the community. But that's where we're going. But today I'm really excited to learn about, let's pull this up right here. Um, is this, yeah, this is what I want. We're going to learn and go over today all fielding positions in cricket, easily explained. Third man, I have no idea what this stuff means. Third man, fine leg, square leg, mid wicket, and I'll be honest, this right here looks absolutely confusing to me. Absolutely confusing. And one of the things, if you watched the one of the other reactions, what I wanted to do is see what a cricket field looks like from it, like an aerial view, like where do the players, the fielders stand, and things like that. So I'm hoping that this will do a good job of that. This video comes to us from Advice Faculty. So go and give them a like, subscribe to theirs, watch this original video that they posted. It appears that it's gotten some really good reviews. So I am excited. Let's, without any further ado, let's go ahead and take a look at these fielding positions in cricket. Again, this is my first time understanding any of this stuff.
Hello friends, in this video we shall be talking about the fielding positions in a cricket match or a cricket game. First of all, let's see what is the general layout for a cricket ground. The dimensions of cricket ground varies from location to location, but what is fixed is that in the middle there is a pitch which is about 22.5 meter long, and around the pitch we have a circle of 30 yards. So this is also called as infield, and this is 30-yard circle or 30-yard area which is always fixed. unlike the boundary, which may vary a little bit. And also,
See, this is really interesting. And here, in the United States, and this is, until I started to do some reactions and learn about this game, under the assumption that cricket was much closer to baseball than I'm now learning. Yes, you throw or bowl a ball, and then somebody a batsman, a batter, will hit it with a wooden stick, basically. But this field is very different than baseball, right? And so, if you're familiar with baseball, we have the diamond, and in the you bat from one corner of that diamond, and not in the middle of the field. So the more I'm learning about this game, the more I'm learning that it is really not like baseball at all. They have baseball has the home plate, first, second, third base, and all those things. And this game, the field of play is very different. The innings, the outs, all very very different. So this is really cool. I did not know that this was called the pitch. Apparently, the area between the two wickets. It sounds like.
also you would have noticed that there is a striker end where the batsman bats, and there is a non-striker end from where the bowler balls.
Okay.
Now let's see what are the different sides on a cricket field. So if we divide the cricket field into two halves, then the side which is on the right hand side of the batsman is called as off side, and the side which is on the left hand side of the batsman is called as the leg side or the on side. So
Okay.
this layout is for the batsman who is a right handed batsman. So if the batsman were to be a left handed batsman, the position of on side and the off side will be reversed. So of course we will have two ends, striker's end and the non-striker end. The striker's end is the one where the striker or the batsman or the batter is playing, and the non-striker end is the one from where the bowling is being done. Now let's look at different areas in a cricket field.
So I'm also there are so many different terms, right? Striker's end, non-striker's end. Why don't they call it the batsman's end in the non-batsman's end, or the batsman's end and the baller's end? There are so many different terms in this game. I suppose that may be true for a lot of different games, but there's a lot of terminology to learn in this, and I'm not quite sure why it's not more simple. In that striker is used as opposed to the fielding positions to describe these areas.
On the right hand side of the batsman, that is on the off side, there is an area called point area. Now this point area is somewhere onto starts from the middle of the pitch and goes up in both the directions, and on the on side you can say almost opposite to or the corresponding
Yeah, why
area of the
isn't it like
point area is the
right point,
square
left
leg
point,
area.
or something to that
Below the
effect?
point area we have the area of the covers, and then similarly on the on side we have the mid wicket area,
Again,
which
why
is
isn't like
just below the
right cover,
square
left
leg
cover?
area. Between
Just
the
to make
mid
it more
wicket
simple.
area and the cover area we
Mid
have two
off, mid
important
on.
areas called mid off area,
That's
which
what
is
I
on
mean.
the
Like
off
there's
side,
so many
and mid
different
on
terms,
area,
point
which
and
is
then
on
square
the
leg. I
on
mean,
side or the leg side.
okay.
Similarly, there is a third man area which is behind the batsman, and then there is a fine leg area which is also behind the batsman, but it is on the on side compared.
Okay, so if I understand correctly, there are 11 players, right? So 11 fielders. I'm guessing that one of them is the baller, and then we have one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight. That is a lot of ground to cover for at least these eight, and then the baller would be nine. I don't know where the other two are going to go. That is a lot of ground for them to cover. Whereas in baseball, because the batter is in one corner. Let's say, for example, if that in baseball that person were down here, and he hits the ball, basically at in a field with a 45 degree angle here, all of this would be out of bounds, right? So the players, the fielders, don't have to cover all of the out of bounds area, and they would be more concentrated on the field itself. And I wonder if that's one of the reasons that cricket can be such a high scoring game. I had no idea. Apparently, 100 or more runs in a single cricket game or match. I wonder if that's why there are so many runs, because it's just so much area for these fielders to cover that it's just takes it's more difficult to get the batsmen in the runners out.
To the third man area which is on the off side. Now let's understand important terms in the
I'm never going to
fielding
remember all
or
these
positioning of the
offhand.
field. So let's draw a line vertically which is dividing the ground into two parts. and pitch is also divided into two parts. And let's call this line, which is colored yellow in here, and we call this line as the line of pitch.
Line of pitch.
And
Oh,
then
good.
there are
Here's got
two
terms up here.
couple of important terms like short, which means going or moving nearer to the batsman. Similarly, forward means in the front of the batsman's crease, backward means behind the batsman's crease, and so on.
Man down.
30-yard circle area, that is also called as the infield area, and the area outside the 30-yard area is called as the outfield area.
Okay, so inside this
If
lighter green is the infield, and then out here in the darker green is the outfield. So it's just crazy to me that that this is in play. And in this example, though, the third man and the fine leg um, are in play. That's just crazy to me. That is so different than baseball. Okay, I'm not going to go through all of these. I'm actually going to come back through this myself and watch it again. But again, look for the description for this original video down there. If you, like me, are reacting and learning this game for the first time, there are a lot of terms in here. So I'll try not to stop too much. I'm going to come back to some of this stuff myself.
we move towards the line of pitch, that is the yellow line, if a fielder moves towards this line, then it is called as finer, that is the movement is finer, the position becomes more fine.
So that's a
But if we move
defensive
away from
strategy, I'm
this
assuming,
line
right?
of
To be
pitch,
either
that is yellow
wider
color
or
line,
finer.
this is called as wider movement or moving wide.
Okay.
Similarly, the batsman's crease, which is shown by the white color here, if the fielder moves behind, that is backward, then this is called as backward movement. And if the fielder moves uh, forward in from the crease of the batsman's crease, it is called as the forward movement. Similarly, if the fielder moves towards the pitch, it is shorter. If it moves away from the pitch but towards the boundary, it is called as longer or the long position. There are two more
Oh my
important
God.
important positions. One is the square or the squarer, when we or the fielder moves nearer to the line of the batsman's crease. So if you are moving towards this white line, which is the batsman's crease, then it is a squarer position. And if you are moving towards the line of pitch, then the fielder is said to be moving long or
Yeah, I'm
longer
definitely going to have
side.
to start watching some games at
Now
some
let's
point. This is going
consider the
to take a
point
long
area.
time to
This is a
really
very important
understand
area.
all of
A lot of
this
runs are
and
scored in this
understand what's
area.
going on
And
inside
let's
of,
see the
a
positions
live
in this
real-time
area.
match.
The first is that between the cover and the point area, there is a position called cover point. And then if we move the point position backward, that is behind the batsman crease, we get the backward point area. And similarly, if we move this position forward, that
Okay.
is forward from the crease of
So
the
it's
batsman,
points
then
because
this
that's the
becomes a
position and
forward
he's going
point position.
forward or backward.
Similarly, the
Deep
backward point
backward. Okay, well
position, if it
this
is
makes
moved
sense.
deeper, that is towards the boundary, it becomes deep backward point position. And if the point position is moved deeper, that is towards the boundary, it becomes a deep point position. Similarly, we have a cover point position, which when moved deeper towards the boundary, it is called as the deep cover point position. Now the point position, we have you can say a corresponding position or the corresponding area to the point area on the on side is the square leg area. So let's see what are the positions in the square leg area. Of course,
Okay,
if we
that makes
move
sense. It's
behind
similar
the
to the
batsman's
point
crease, we
position.
get the backward
Did I
square
miss it
leg
at the
position.
beginning? I know he
If we
said that. I
move
think that this
forward from the
lighter green
crease of the
area
batsman, then we
is. Let me
get
pause so
forward
I'm
square
not
leg
talking over
position.
him. I think he said that this is a 30-meter area. Is that 30 meters from the pitch? Right? Is this perimeter 30 meters? That seems actually kind of short. That is what, approximately 90 feet. About roughly 3 feet in a meter, right? Or is it? Yeah, roughly a meter and a yard are approximately the same length. So this would apparently then be about 90 feet. That seems like a short distance because in baseball, what I'm used to is it's 90 feet from each of the bases, right? So from home plate to first base is 90 feet. And then from first base to second base is 90 feet. So I'm familiar with what approximately 30 yards, 30 meters, or 90 feet is looks like in a ball game. That seems really like a really close area for this. Did I miss earlier in which he said a standard regulation field? Is it standard like this outer perimeter, and how far is that from the pitch? I might have to go back and see that if I missed it. But again, leave a comment down there. Again, is it standard? Because in in American baseball, the fields, although the distance from all of the bases, is standard. The length, between the pitcher and the batter, or home plate, is a standard distance of 60 feet 6 inches there. But the outfields, typically they range from somewhere between 300 feet on the right and left. I'm sorry, yeah, right and left fields, and then about 400 feet to center field. Is it true that this is all standard for all fields, or are some fields kind of have a little bit different dimensions? I would love to know about that as well.
And you would notice that these are the corresponding positions to the backward point position and the forward point positions. We also have three more positions in the square leg area. If we move the backward square leg deeper in towards the boundary, we get deep backward square leg position. Square leg, if moved deeper towards the boundary, we get deep square leg position. And similarly, the forward square leg position, when moved towards the boundary, we get the deep forward square leg position. Now let's consider the area of the third man. So in this area, we have one very important position called as long stop, which is right in the middle of the two areas, third man
Okay, so
area
that's
and
another
fine leg
fielding
area.
position
And this
player,
is
right? That's not a
behind the wicket keeper or
strategic
behind
position.
the
That's an actual the
batsman or
name of
behind
the
the
position that a
strikers
player is
and
playing.
wickets. So this is a very important position. It is called as long stop. Similarly to the other positions, when the third man position moves towards the pitch, it is short third man. When it moves towards the boundary, it is deep third man. And then two more positions are fine third man position and the square third man position. Now let's consider the fine leg area. In this we have straight fine leg, that is we are straight meaning moving towards the line of pitch, and then we have a square fine leg area when we are moving towards the crease of the batsman. And then we have two more positions. One is short fine leg position moving towards the pitch, deep fine leg towards the boundary, that is deeper. And then we have two more positions in the fine leg area. One is the long leg area, which is towards the boundary, and the backward short leg area or the backward short leg position. Now let's consider the mid wicket area, which is on the on side, and it has some important positions. One is the short mid wickets towards the field or towards the pitch, and the deep mid wicket, which is towards the boundary. And then we have deep forward mid wicket position, which is here. And now let's see the corresponding area on the off side, which is called as the covers area. And this has short cover position, which is towards the pitch, deep cover position, which is towards the boundary. Then we have extra cover position, and when this extra cover position is moved towards the boundary, it
Sweeper
becomes
cover.
a deep extra cover, or it is also called as sweeper cover position. And now let's see
There are a
mid-off
lot
and
of
mid-on
terms here.
positions, or the areas in this position. You would notice that many of these positions in mid-off area are the mirror image of mid-on area positions. So let's see first of all the short mid-off area. That is when the mid-off area field position is moved towards the pitch, we get short mid-off position. Similarly, on the mid-on side, if we move towards the pitch, we get short mid-on position. And you will notice that this is almost like mirror image of short mid-off position. Similarly, moving towards the boundary, we get deep mid-off position, and if we move towards boundary on the on side, we get the deep mid-on position. Again, both these positions appear to be mirror image of each other. There are three other very important positions. One is a straight hit, which is exactly
Okay,
behind the bowlers or the
hold on.
stumps.
Okay, so if I understand correctly, each one of these red dots represents a player position, right? Not necessarily a defensive strategy in which they could play a different place, but one position is the fine leg, right? So one person's um, position is fine leg. If I understand correct, there's 11 players, right? So how many red dots do we have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 plus the baller. That's 13. So now I'm confused in that each one of these red dots represent one individual person that's on the playing field, because that's more than 11. All right, let's get that out there. If I'm mistaken, if I've heard incorrectly, and there are not in fact 11 people playing, let me know in the comments.
Of the bowler side or the non-striker side, and then the other two are long off and the long on positions. Four more positions which are corresponding.
Sorry, and I just realized also that in the screen, you're not the top is cut off a little bit, as is the bottom just a little bit. So, like for example, the long stop up here, at the top of the field, you're not able to see with the frame here that I'm using. Anyway, if you want a better look, you can go back to the original video. I just realized that that's cut off a little bit.
Corresponding to each other in long on and long off area. One is the wide long off position, then the other is straight long off position. Similarly, we have straight long on position and wide long on position. There are many additional positions which we should remember. The first one is the wicket keeper and the slip positions. Wicket keeper is of course the wicket keeper fielder which is standing right behind the stumps, and the slips are behind the wicket keeper, and there could be no slip position or there could be up to 9 slip positions, and these positions normally end before the start of the area of point.
That is really confusing to me.
There are two other important positions. One
All
is
right,
the
now he's up
gully
to like
position, which
15
is
players
somewhere
on the
in the
field, I
middle of the
think.
point area and the third man area, and is generally behind the slips area. And then there is a leg gully, which is on the on side, which is, you can say, corresponding to the gully position on the off side. It is the off on side gully position. We have two more
I like this one,
important
silly
positions. One is
point.
the silly point
Silly
position and
mid-off.
the silly mid-off position. Silly position is generally called silly because it is too close to field, but many a times when the attack bowling is happening, it is generally the position to get the catches, and therefore
That
it
seems
is
like
an
that would be a
important
very dangerous place to play.
position.
That ball coming
The other two important
off
position,
of the
the similar
bat would
position on the
you
on
could get
side are
seriously hurt
short
doing
leg,
that, I
that
would
is
think.
bat pad position, and the silly mid-on position. And finally, there are two more important positions. One is the cow corner position, which is in the mid wicket area, and then we also have a fly slip position, which is just behind the slips in slips area.
Okay, that was really confusing there at the end. Again, let me know if and I'm going to do more reactions and learn more about the fielding before I actually start watching some games, whether they're recorded or live. Let me back up here just a little bit where we can see this again, or near the end. The slip 1 through 9, that confuses me. I don't know what that means, or who is at that position. Like, is that the wicket keeper, where he could play defensively? Again, why are there? I think he's up to like 15, 14 um, players on the field at this point. I don't understand that. There are so many terms in here that I would really have to get familiar with, and I'm sure that when I get to the point where I watch and react to a game or actual gameplay, I will start to learn these a little bit more. But there are so many different terms here, many more terms than we would use in traditional American baseball. Which, by the way, is my favorite game. I've always been a very big baseball fan. Um, so yeah, this is very different from that game. I really appreciate this. I did learn a lot about the field. And one thing he also didn't say here, and I understand that this is not necessarily about gameplay, but this is about more about the actual positions and the defensive strategies in areas that they cover and things like that. I also believe, and let me know again if this is true or if I am mistaken, in that. When this batsman is done with his turn, then the next batsman would bat from the opposite end of this crease, right? Is that what crease or whatever this is called? This, um, and I don't know what he didn't say what the distance is the between the wickets, or the distance between which the ball is balled and where the batsman stands. I don't know what that dimension is. Um, but yeah, looking at this, it makes a little bit more sense now that he's spoken. I've watched him speak about it, but man, it is really confusing. Definitely, if you need, go through and watch this again, or again, as I said, go give some love and a like and a subscribe to Advice Faculty at the link in the description. This seems to be very helpful to a lot of people that have commented on this original video. Um, Very informative. Yeah, amazing. Yeah, people are really, and I'm happy with this. There could have been, I think, a few more details explained in it, but that's certainly a good introduction to me, the American dunce who does not understand this game or how it's played or how it is set up. It was really, really helpful. All right, guys. Again, my name is Todd. I am your favorite community psychologist. Do me a favor, if you want to watch more of these, go ahead, like this video. Give me a couple of comments on things that other things that I could watch and react to as I learn this game. Give me ideas about teams that I could follow, how I can get access to them. Make sure you subscribe while you're here. Hit the notification bell because I am going to do several more cricket reactions. I do also have several other types of reactions that I've done and will continue to do other types of things like that. Cultural differences, geography. I really like investigative reporting kinds of things and just kind of all for us to learn as a community. So it has been great having you here. I will talk to you sometime soon. And until then, you all have a great day. Thank you for watching this video, and be sure to leave a comment with your thoughts and what reaction topics you would like to see from this psychologist. This video was brought to you by Research Learning Center, where I help students with their research so they can graduate sooner. If you would like to complete your thesis or dissertation and graduate sooner, be sure to check out my online courses to learn everything from developing a research topic to becoming a better academic writer, conducting your analyses, and even defending your work with your committee. Be sure to check the description for a link to my free Introduction to SPSS course, which includes nearly 4 hours of step-by-step lectures, homework assignments, quizzes, and dozens of downloadable resources.